Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Hope you enjoyed that little turn into the loss last time. We made it happen. We made it work. 9JL3KH4T. I'm gonna tell you the obvious, okay? First off, this run is pretty okay to start with, but the obvious is that for as much as I mean, in the late game, you have a huge disadvantage as the Lost, depending on whether or not you got yourself some consumable or respawnable action. Sorry, I had a burp come out right as I was gonna say the word respawnable. It's a weird word to begin with. We added a little extra weirdness on top, and I'm not gonna beat around the bush on that one. Sure, I don't know. It certainly looks cool. It's like we're playing Terraria. I think this is very good as well. However, in the early game, there's a pretty nice advantage. Like, versus Eden, if you can be the Lost and have Holy Mantle versus, like, Eden 0 HP, you'd probably rather, well, 1 Spirit Heart or 2 Spirit Hearts, you'd probably rather be the Lost. So, I just don't want to get overly cocky that, like, this one's in the bag because we're, oh, well, if we won as the Lost, we should win as everybody. It depends on the run. Oh, my lord. It was hard to handle there. It's definitely a lot easier. So that, I guess that's an interaction between euthanasia and Ludovico technique is, well, and then the eyeball tears ricocheting off each other. That makes sense. So if we kill on the euthanasia tick, we will, we'll be in a good spot here to do a lot of damage very quickly. I mean, really, this room is emphasizing what may be the big problem with what we got right now. Our ability to kill enemies that are mobile is very bad. However, there is the flip side. Our ability to kill enemies that stand in one place is absurd. So what we would really like to see, just to make this one, you know, as winnable as early as possible. As winnable as possible as early as we can, let's say it that way, is some kind of orbital. So we can, like, a sack dagger, of course, is, you know, paramount, if possible. It's the best we could ask for, so we could kill enemies that end up close to us. But either way, we're probably doing just fine. Let me put it that way. We are gonna get an orbital, by the way. I wasn't even paying attention. I was too busy yammering. You know what I think I'm gonna do this weekend? Saturday, notoriously my day off. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I do have to go to the bank and speak with my financial advisor and have the same conversation we've had every day since February, which is him being like, you should really invest, and me being like, yeah, I know, but at the same time, like, don't you worry about, like, the whole system of the North American economy collapsing, like, all at once? And he goes like, no, not really. And I go, okay, we run in different circles on the internet then. And then after that, I think maybe I'll watch the Hamilton movie adaptation. I think and I did screw up my deal with the devil here, I'll admit, but I think as I get older, I wonder if I'll become one of those musical theater guys. You know, one of those guys who knows all the Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals. As a child, and even as a young adult, I was belligerent towards musicals and thought that I didn't enjoy them, because instead of having a conversation, people always sing to each other, what'll you have for lunch? I don't know, what'll you have for lunch? I'm gonna have a sandwich, oh yeah, you know. But then I realized, as I got older, shut up, idiot, songs are cool. Songs are fun. Why you got a problem with songs, you know? I haven't seen Hamilton before. I will admit the knee-jerk contrarian inside of me is, well, because so many people love it so much, it's probably bad. But that's a juvenile instinct that I've done my best to suppress as I've gotten older. And I will say, the other thing is, I mean, it probably takes some license with American history, I'm assuming. But I really, I'm interested in that era of American history. And I'm always surprised when people are like, why? Well, like, you know, the Founding Fathers and the writing of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and so on, you know, they have determined what are acceptable, like, political actions in the modern day, despite the fact that this stuff was written 300 years ago. So, like, I mean, essentially, these are the people who, by like American standards, wrote the Ten Commandments. You know, these are inalienable rights baked into the fabric of the nation. So I think that like learning more about them is interesting. Both when you learn stuff that's cool and stuff that's maybe not so cool. That was well spoken. I'm happy with myself for that one. But yeah, I mean, we do have Disney Plus. So again, the other reason is we have an obligation to watch every new property that comes out on Disney Plus to justify the subscription fee. This is a surprisingly delicate run. That's not gonna help. And I have no idea if this is gonna help either, but maybe this is fine, because he doesn't seem to be summoning anything. Shooting is bad, but we can get over it. We can move around pretty well. So we may get a deal. We didn't. But we did get an item that we needed. A Tears upgrade and then the ability to have some more HP. I don't think we will go to our curse room, unfortunately. I think we'll just leave. So statistically, we're still suffering here, mostly because of a lack of HP. We really, on this floor, have a need to get this deal with the devil and see what... You know, even if we don't want what it's got, it's the next step for us. You know, is to choose whether to take it or not to take it. We also really need some damage. Like, badly. The Tears up is fine. Maybe even better than a damage up to begin with. And the HP that we just got from this means this whole room is completely worth it. However, I do think that... we really gotta up our game a little bit. You know, we're not doing enough damage quickly enough, as you can see right here. Like, I don't know, I don't really have control over it, right? But I would think that we would want to kill every single one of these enemies in one wave of it popping up with this thing going over top of them. We did it that time, but those enemies are less tanky. So we got a ways to go. It's not because of eyeball poppers. It's because of Ludo. So I don't really... Well, I shouldn't have done that. We're going to take the long way home here. We're going to do it that way. Then we're going to do it this way. We're going to break this one out from the top down. It's another... You know, I'll just level with you. I'm very, very glad that we had that lost run. If I had lost, I would not be. I would be devastated. I would be getting roasted in the comments. Instead, I'm being lauded, probably. I don't know. The video won't come out for like another week. But I'm sure people are saying things like, you know, YouTube's greatest hero and stuff like that. Which is, you know, maybe a little bit underblown. But sure, you know, I understand people don't want to exaggerate. They're allergic to exaggeration and hyperbole. I don't know why I said the word like that. That was not a bit. That's just how it came out. Am I having a stroke? Let's see. Wait till this room's over. I'm going to lift my left arm over my head. Both arms over my head, I should say. Ladies and gentlemen, no stroke today. That's not meant as a joke. It's, you know... I'm just trying to make sure. You know, with the amount of time that I spend weekly recording, if I'm going to have one, I might have one on video. Probably after I read some chat from Twitch. That time I was joking. Okay, maybe that's... I apologize, it's a sensitive subject, but... a range upgrade. Oh, we win. Alright, well that changes everything. For sure. We definitely want... This just because it's free, essentially, and then Satanic Bible is amazing, and we'll grab the range upgrade even though I don't think it does anything for us, and we'll move on. But yeah, so hey, if you're watching this episode, don't tweet me, but like next time you're in Twitch chat, be like, hey, how'd you like Hamilton? And I'll be like, hey, I talked about it 4 days ago, where were you? And you're gonna be like, well, I just heard you talking about it in Isaac, and I'll be like, okay, sorry, my bad. I normally don't take that kind of demeanor. Very good. Okay, yeah, we're in the clear. This is going to be a pretty easy win. I'm willing to gamble on this one. Go ahead. Even if I end up paying 8 cents for one Spirit Heart, I'm okay with it. Dude, the credit card? Thank you so much. Let's go buy something. Let's not buy anything. I think it's better now as they deal with the Devil Enabler. But yeah, I haven't really seen that many musicals in my life. Like, honestly, when I think of musicals I have seen a local production of Les Miserables. when a girl from our high school was in it. I'm trying to remember who she played. It was a big role. It was like, it might be the female lead. Is Colette a character? If she wasn't the female lead, she was like the supporting actress, right? And then all I can think of is in Waiting for Guffman, the Christopher Guest movie. They do like the musical about stools. Stools are great. There's a something and you wait. If you haven't seen, I mean, Christopher Guest movies, if you can find them on whatever service, you know, I don't know what they're on, but he's Spinal Tap, or let me rephrase. This is Spinal Tap. Legitimately one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's maybe, well, I think it's the best mockumentary ever made. But he made his living making mockumentaries. So like, I think it goes, in my personal opinion, here's how it goes. Christopher Guest films have inspired Christopher Guest fans, and they have strong opinions, so I apologize if this rubs you the wrong way. I definitely think Spinal Tap is the best. I'm going to make a little inside joke. I think it's an 11 out of 10. I'm just going to grab that. I think that the second best, my second favorite, is Waiting for Guffman. I would say that that is a strong 8 to 9 out of 10. We would then probably go to Best in Show, the dog show mockumentary with Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, Fred Willard, Michael McKean, Parker Posey. Try me. Just freaking try me. I would say that's an 8 out of 10. Great movie. After that, you get into like A Mighty Wind and For Your Consideration. I don't really like those two, to be honest. I mean, I think A Mighty Wind is okay, maybe like a 5 out of 10. For Your Consideration, I got it, don't get me wrong. I understood what I was going for, but it was a little too like Hollywood, ape in Hollywood for me. I'm not going to give it a rating because I watched it in scattered bursts on TV. But I would definitely recommend the first 3 there if you haven't seen them. I think they're superlative. Superlative. Well, you're super late if you haven't seen them yet. I don't know where my tier is, so I guess we're just gonna take some damage. Oh, keep him in line. There you go. Oh, baby. Oh, I don't know why. The camera transition there almost gave me a little motion sickness. Should have him. Should have him! Really? I thought I could fit through the loop there. Oh, no. This is actually not dangerous, but more dangerous than it should be. I'm so stoked we got Static or Jacob's Ladder, though. Get me out of here. I'm scared because I can't see my HP. So yeah, that's my plan. Are we? Hold on. Why can we fit in this room? We must have like 6 or 7 Spirit Hearts left. We've probably only been hit like 3 times since we picked up a Satanic Bible. Yeah, I don't think I should be as scared as I am. That's helpful. Oh, move me, please. How about the power to move you? That's my weekend plan. Have my financial advisor yell at me, and then secondarily maybe watch Hamilton and play a lot of Ricci mahjong. I'm telling you, dude, if you're not down with the Ricci mahjong, I'm not saying you're missing out, because it really is like telling someone like, oh, you should. It's like when people tell me to make my own bread or make my own pasta. Okay, I understand. People are always like, it tastes better. Agreed. It's not that much work. Agreed. Where we disagree is, it's more work than I'm willing to put in just for homemade bread or homemade pasta. And I apologize because, you know, people take it as almost like a personal attack when you say it. I'm here to tell you, my father, as he's gotten older, his work hours have slowed down a little bit, which is great news. It's not a negative thing. So instead of, you know, working himself to the bone, on the weekends, and even, you know, sometimes at like 6 p.m. on a weekday, found himself with a little extra time and looking for a hobby. So what did he do? He got interested in baking. He got a stand mixer. He you know, created his own sourdough starter. He's been making bread for like, probably like, I don't know, 12 years now, something like that. It's really good. Every time I go home, I have some, and I'm like, this is delicious. I love eating it. I also make it with him, but I don't want to. Well, let me rephrase. I want to because he's my father and, it's a bonding experience. However, I don't want to because I find the process of making the bread not enjoyable. And it's not ungrateful because I've already made that decision in my home life. There's no doubt that fresh baked bread tastes better than the vast majority of store-bought bread. You can get around, you could go to like a nice bakery that cooks it like that morning, and it's still not the same as when it comes fresh out of the oven, but you can get pretty close, right? But as a result, I don't really like eat that much bread in my home life because I don't want to go through the trouble, quite frankly. So I've already made that decision in my life. I'm not ungrateful at all. In fact, I'm very grateful for the homemade bread that anybody's willing to offer me. If anything, I'm more grateful because I am unwilling to do it myself. So that's how I feel about Ricci mahjong. If you don't, that's a tier increase if we just hurt ourselves a little bit. And I've been told it won't ruin our deal with the devil. So how about that? I don't know if this is going to get any better. No, okay, so it wouldn't. But, you saw where my head was at there. Either way, we get a tiers upgrade, which is way better than just getting a couple of dinky bone hearts, I've been told. So I would never be like, you should learn it. Like, if we're talking about skills you should learn, here's one for you. You could learn, and whether or not it's practical, you can decide that for yourself, okay? I'm just giving you the time investment. You could learn how to read the Korean alphabet in under 2 hours. And then anytime Korean text came up in a show, maybe you're into the K-dramas, I don't know, or, even on a news headline or something, well, I don't know. Unless you're, a similar domestic situation to me, I doubt you're watching too much Korean news at home. But anyway, either way, you could essentially learn how to read the phonetic sounds of Korean in under 2 hours. Would I recommend it? Sure, why not? It's kind of a fun thing to learn. Especially if you've never learned a language other than English. And you might say, well, why would you assume that I know English? And then you're going to think about it for 2 seconds, recognize you're watching a video of me, and be like, yeah, okay, never mind, you got it. I don't think we want that, quite frankly. But you can learn that in 2 hours. To learn the basic rules of Ricci mahjong, I think would take you like a minimum of 4 to 5 hours, and then a little bit of practice to bake it in there. Is that worth it to understand the basics of a game? Yes. Is it worth it for you? That's something you have to decide, quite frankly. We still don't want anything here. Weird. Because, it's been a nice kind of like casual game, even though it can get uncasual as well. And there's some highly pog moments. But it is definitely not a game like chess. Like, I've been talking, because, honestly, I think Kate has been more interested in chess now that she knows that I'm not faking it, and I'm actually okay, or at least used to be okay. But in chess, really, like, let me phrase this very delicately. When you and a grandmaster go into a game, you both know all of the rules. In Ricci mahjong, there are still times where, like, I go into a game and somebody does something I've never seen before, like that I didn't even know existed, Like yesterday I was playing and somebody was like, hey, I won this hand, and then they showed their hand and the game was like, that's 3 big dragons, and I was like, I have no idea what the heck that is. Now I do, and I'll tell you, it's worth a lot of points. I think it's a Yakuman, and it might even be a San Yakuman. Anyway, but in chess, like, don't get me wrong, you're not gonna beat a grandmaster. If anything, Ricci mahjong is substantially more luck-based. You have the opportunity, in spite of your lack of skill, to just kind of luck sack your way into a victory now and then. In chess, you're just toasted. If you sit down against Magnus Carlsen, you're gonna lose. Unless you're watching this and you're like literally, I can't pause it because I don't know the FIDE ratings, but I would say, like, if you're in the top 100 to 250 players in the world, you might be like, hey, I'm not the favorite, but I got a chance. But Otherwise, you're done, right? Anyway, we don't need to make this like a mahjong episode. It's just kind of like it is what it is. Been playing not a lot of it, but in bursts I've been playing a lot of it. Like if I find myself with like an hour and a half or 2 hours, or I'm just chilling and I got nothing to do, yeah, I'll play a few games. If you find yourself similarly bored, I would honestly recommend... I mean, if you have Clubhouse games, play through the tutorials on Clubhouse games. For Ricci Mahjong, you might find yourself with a new desert island game that sucks up a little bit of time. God, this guy can't shut up about Ricci Mahjong. It's not that I can't shut up about it. It's I'm trapped inside because of the freaking quarantine. And I'm talking to myself for 35 to 60 hours a week. So I'm talking about stuff that I know. But what do I know this week? Well, I know the series finale of Dark. But I can't talk about the series finale of Dark because the whole freaking show just aired. Like, it came out less than a week ago. So I can't even finish that off. So what am I supposed to talk about? Dude, I don't know. What do you want me to talk about? What do you want me to talk about? What's your favorite type of tortilla chip? I'm here to tell you. I have some weird food takes, and I have some sensible food takes. I'm about to offend a lot of people. Are you ready for this? 3, 2, 1. The wheat tortillas are better than the corn tortillas. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said it, but I believe it. I have tried on many occasions the corn tortillas, and I'm going to answer your obvious question. No, I have never had them fresh. Which I'm sure makes a huge difference. The corn tortillas, though, that you get from the grocery stores, they're too porous and, like, I'm not gonna say they're flavorless, but I don't like the flavor as much as the wheat tortillas. And I've tried them many a time. But, like, even, I don't know. I believe that a corn tortilla is more authentic, but I also sometimes believe that more authentic is not always the best. Sometimes I agree. Like the difference between having... Dude, what am I gonna do with this freaking credit card, man? I guess why would you even buy that? You should have just walked out. Hold on, I'm getting all twisted up. Like if you're making homemade sushi and you're just having it like on top of white rice instead of a rice that you've seasoned or sauced up with some vinegar, I don't think that that's gonna do the trick as much as like a good sushi rice would. But I'm here to tell you that I think the here's how lazy I am, by the way. We're just gonna bounce that off the backboard rather than walk around the other way. I'm here to tell you that I think you like what you like. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to argue that one or more of these types of tortillas should be like erased off the grocery store map. All I'm saying is that I think really I find the wheat tortillas preferable, and moreover, I think that even if you disagree with me, I do think they just get a bad rap. That's where I'll put my most tame, real opinion. I think the wheat tortillas get a bad rap because they're inauthentic. And I defend that. As someone who ate a lot of pulled pork soft tacos carnitas when I was last year when we were in peak Instant Pot territory. I tried the corn. It wasn't bad, but the wheat just hit different. That's my take. But then for tortilla chips, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that agnostic, the brand and the seasoning, tortilla chips are in the abstract the best salty snack. I have had tortilla chips that are better than others, but they're all good. White corn, multigrain, wheat, blue corn, Doritos. You know, like no matter who's making the tortilla chip. Hello? Thank you. I think it's hard to make a bad tortilla chip. You can always make a tortilla chip better. There's two secrets: salt and heat. Little oil, maybe. Oh, if you can get them when they come, fresh out of wherever you're cooking them. Because I don't know, to be honest. They're delicious. But if you put a bowl of tortilla chips in front of me, whether it's multigrain Tostitos, Tostitos rounds, scoops, you know, in-store, grocery store, Whole Foods made tortilla chips. Like, I'm gonna love them no matter what. There are some I mean, I'll eat pretty much any potato chip you could imagine. But there are some where if you put a bowl of them in front of me, I'd be like, I think I'm just good. Don't worry about it. If you put all-dressed Ruffles, the Canadian classic, in front of me, I would eat them all. You'd have to, honestly, you know, if you want some, eat them quick. That's all I'm going to say, because there's not going to be any left when you come back from the bathroom. But if you put, like, plain Ruffles in front of me, 98% of them would be there when you got back. I promise you that. I would have a couple, and I'd be like, these are okay, but I'd get over it pretty quick. Chips have a wide gamut. Tortilla chips are just always pretty good, I think. Not to say there aren't some that are better than others. Okay, finally, a good reason. We don't even need 7 seals, but we're taking it anyway. Like, I'm willing to stand by that incredibly specific spectrum that I've defined there. The best salty snack in abstract, what's gonna beat it, okay? What's gonna beat it? Pretzels? Don't be a fool. I love a great pretzel. Some pretzels are way too dry. Some pretzels are like Barton. Some pretzels are like biting into tree bark. Some pretzels, they're so like, I don't know, layered on the inside, they're slicing up your soft palate when you eat them. Some pretzels are a beautiful thing. I'll admit, I think I'm a pretzel weirdo. I love a soft pretzel, don't get me wrong. We don't get them too much, though. In terms of, like, the hard pretzels, I'm not a pretzel twist guy. I'm, like, a pretzel rod guy. I like the pretzel logs that you could bite into, like, you know, might take you 20 bites to... And it's gonna be gross, okay? But, like, I like the pretzel rods that are so big. Oh, this is gonna rub people the wrong way, and I can't wait. That are so big, you have to bite into them multiple times, and on the second bite, the place where you're biting is a little bit wet from the saliva of your previous bite. Ew, gross! Eating the spit that was already inside of my own mouth. Disgusting. Get over it. It's delicious. Not the spit so much, but like when the pretzel gets a little bit moist. Oh, baby. I'm telling you, I didn't start this by saying I think I'm a pretzel, you know, normie. I said I think I'm a pretzel weirdo, and I think this has made that clear. What else are you gonna say is the best salty snack agnostic of its brand? Popcorn? Absolutely not. There's some garbage popcorn out there. I will say, you know, if you run a movie theater, anybody watching this that runs their own movie theater, you got a real problem. The popcorn's killing it, don't get me wrong. And maybe that's part of the business model, is you don't want people ordering... You don't want them to be incentivized to order things that are not the popcorn, because the popcorn margins are through the roof. But why are the movie theater nachos so bad? I can get down with a little, like, nuclear queso and, you know, those bright yellow, perfectly circular tortilla chips now and then. But, like, you got so much culinary equipment there. You think it would be possible. I'm not saying to make, like, the best restaurant-style tortilla chips under the sun. I think we take nothing, believe it or not. I think we take neither of those two great items just to ensure we can finesse this victory all the way to the top. Why are you using, like, tortilla chips that, for whatever reason, seem to have come out of the freezer? Like the 7-Eleven nachos. Why are they so bad? Like, you sell bags of tortilla chips inside of the store. You're not allowed to use those to make better nachos? I don't understand. And that's what annoys me, because I'll tell you, I've heard that, I'm wagging my finger here like Bernie Sanders, but I've heard that in America, nachos are not always a premium appetizer. I don't know if that's true. If it's true, it must be a little bit of a regional or cultural difference, because here, nachos are usually like amongst the most expensive appetizer. And because they're not really an appetizer, they're like a shareable, right? And if you, God help you if you want to add grilled chicken or sour cream, for the love of God, you're gonna let me introduce our payment options, sir. You're getting a little bit ambitious. I didn't realize we had a high roller here. When you drove up in the Ford Focus, I didn't think you'd be balling so hard you could afford the grilled chicken option, but clearly I'm mistaken. That's what annoys me. You know, if we go to a place and, you know, a 4-person serving of nachos is like $15, but the nachos are good and like tortilla chips are solid and they're layered nicely, and there's I was gonna say a healthy amount of ingredients, but really you know that I mean like the opposite. If there's a copious amount of ingredients but not so much that it's insanity, then I'm happy to pitch in. But when you go to the movie theater and it's like $8 for bad nachos for one person and the only topping is the nuclear cheese, you're like, come on, man, really? I get that it's the movie theater, so like this is the oldest like boomer humor joke you could possibly imagine, but simultaneously I'm also like, you're creating a situation where people are disappointed. Every time I get the popcorn at the movie theater, I am not disappointed. I lament the fact that it's expensive, and if I drink the whole soda that comes with it, I'm going to the bathroom at least once. Rarely twice, but at least once. I think we want the permanent Polaroid invincibility, honestly. Can't remember what we gulped even. But I leave the purchase satisfied. I'm a satisfied customer. I knew going in the popcorn was going to be expensive, but I was going to enjoy it. Anytime I'm like, you know what, I've been craving nachos, and I debase myself with the movie theater nacho option, I'm always like, man, why didn't I just get the popcorn? You're always trying to beat the system. There's a reason nobody's buying the nachos. They're not very good. You better just shell out another couple of bucks and get what you really want anyway. That's my thoughts on movie theater concession prices. It is truly insane to me that the biggest Canadian theater chain offers food sales through Uber Eats or Skip the Dishes. It doesn't matter. It's one of the services, right? Because, don't get me wrong, I really like movie theater popcorn, but if you don't get it inside of your mouth within like 10 minutes of its creation, it really starts to fall off. So the fact that you could order it and have it show up 45 minutes later is not very appealing to me. On top of the fact that you're paying like $15 for the popcorn, and then you're also probably paying like, you know, $5 for the delivery charge minimum. Probably more than $5, honestly. I should really be using Ludo more often here, by the way, but maybe we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This is a weird run. A weird run I'm happy to win easily, but also, I can't believe we're still at 3.59 damage. Like, it just seems insane to me. Every time I've been to the movie theater in Vancouver and not gotten the popcorn, I have left disappointed. Sometimes I get nothing and I'm disappointed, like, man, I should have gotten the popcorn. But sometimes I'm like, oh, we didn't really have a chance to eat before the movie. Maybe I'll get like can I have the California chicken sandwich? And then it's just like, you know, a sugary bun with like a steamed chicken breast on it. And I'm like, oh my God, like 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And I'm like, I should have just gotten the popcorn, dude. I feel like it shouldn't be that hard to make better movie theater nachos, though. Look, you don't want people having a searing hot, you know, barrel of tortilla chips and, like, stinky ingredients on them in the theater, I suppose, but simultaneously. I don't know why I'm talking about the movie theater. It's not like any of us are going to go see a movie anytime soon. Did you see the box office last weekend? Jaws was in the top 10. It made, like, $36,000 at 200 drive-thrus across the United States. It's not exactly a great time for cinema. Anyway. That's my thoughts on the movie theater concession prices. If you ask me my opinion on the movie theater prices... Did I say concession prices earlier? I meant concession items. Yeah, I think they're too expensive. I am always, though, like... I especially... Like, the more time has gone on, and there's been, like, alternative entertainment options, the more, I'm like... It feels weird to complain about the price of going to a movie theater. Maybe some people feel the opposite. They're like, for the price of a movie ticket, I can get 1 month of Netflix and watch 100 movies. But I'm like, almost in the opposite boat, where when people are like, going to the movies is expensive. I'm like, yeah, but on the other hand, instead of complaining, what if you just got a Netflix subscription and it didn't go out? I don't know if that's blaming... I mean, I don't think it's really blaming the victim. I don't think there's a victim in this situation, necessarily. I enjoy the movie-going experience in the theater, but... Yeah, I mean, it's... You are paying a decent chunk of change to just sit in a vaguely comfortable seat. We don't have the cool theaters up here yet, mostly. Anyway, good win, right? Good win. 16 wins in a row. We're back on the horse for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya! I just gotta get my mouse pointer, and I'll see ya.